Hello and welcome to Tuner Tips by Todderbert. In front of us, we have the Kaiweets, model number KM601s. It's a smart digital multimeter with color display. At Amazon, you can find this for $52.99 retail. Mine had an $8 off coupon, bringing the price down to $44.99. I've upped my game from the standard LCD displays to something more interesting. And this is also rechargeable. So yeah, we'll get into it here. So it comes in a really cool box, red and black. Love the colors. Kaiweets, I think I'm saying that right. And little illustrations here. Took everything out of the box. We'll show you what we get. Set that aside. Of course, we get the star of the show, the multimeter. Awesome. It's pretty cool. It's like a smartphone size, I'd say. Yeah. In the box also, we get a really cool carrying case to put everything in with their name on it. It's actually fairly large, so it holds all the probes and the meter together. So that's handy. Always a bonus, right? We get a temperature probe measurement. Nice. We get a charging cable. It's a USB to a barrel jack. Now, I'm not a fan of this. I wish it was Type-C. That would be a nice thing to see. So if Kaiweets is watching this, if you update this meter, I would definitely go to a Type-C jack. Something more universal. Because if the user loses this, you're kind of out of luck. Hoping I don't lose it. Keep in the bag at all times with the meter. You'll probably be okay, but definitely don't lose it. All right. Next, we have the testing leads. There you are. Nice heavy-duty wire. I like it. They got some nice strain relief on the ends. Yeah, they got protective caps, of course, like most do. Just a nice feeling wire. It doesn't feel cheap at all because you can test up to 1,000 volts with this thing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. The length on these, if you're wondering, is 38 inches from the back to the top of the probe there. So if you're wondering for your testing length, so 38 inches. Awesome. And of course, then we got the user manual, which I'm going to have to go through because there's a lot of information here that I probably won't end up covering because I'm going to try to keep this relatively short because we're going to go demo it. We're going to have some fun. We're going to test stuff. That's what it's about, right? So safety information, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Just read your manual when you get it. There's a function list on the device. Try to cover most of that. But if I miss something, you can always go to this and freeze frame it. Like the buttons do different things. There's selectors. There's a function button. You have auto ranging, manual ranging. You have an auto mode. Kind of interesting stuff. You got a max min button, a hold, and relative value measurement, which I like. I think that's an amazing thing to have on a meter. There you go. And of course, there's the different symbols you'll see on your meter and most meters. It's all standardized. And of course, we have terminal introduction. Yeah, this is really cool. It'll actually tell you where to plug the probes in when you select the different function. So that's nice. So there you go. Smart. Always starts out in smart mode. And you can turn it off with the red button on the front, which I'll show you when we start testing. But I'm just trying to go through this really quick. Of course, you can fast forward this right to the meter, so if you don't want to see this going on, I'm just trying to show you different things. So it's got continuity diode test, resistance measurement. That's in your auto area. Shows you about good diodes and a bad diode. Nice. Over here, capacitance measurement. Kind of fiddly. We'll see if I can test it on camera. I was trying to do it without the camera. I was still having a hard time getting the leads on the capacitor, but it worked. There you go. You got AC/DC millivolt measurement. Nice. Frequency duty measurement. Temperature measurement. It'll show Celsius and Fahrenheit at the same time. It's a really cool display. It does show quite a bit. Of course, you got non-contact voltage and live, which is interesting. You can use the positive probe to actually touch the live wire. It'll indicate, there you go, live wire detecting. So there you are. Cool. And of course, amps in AC or DC. Beautiful thing. And there's your notes. And we're almost done with this manual. And we'll get to the device here in a moment. So there's that. And of course, maintenance is pretty basic. It does have 2 fuses, which are easy to access. Nice. And of course, we have specifications. It says 10,000 counts, which is pretty awesome. It has a bar graph on there that shows that sampling speed 3 times per second, weighs about 272 grams. It has an internal rechargeable battery, which is not removable by the user unless you're really crafty. And I'm assuming if you use this meter, you probably are. So, but they don't make it easy to open it up. So I didn't try to pry it open. Took the screws out, but then I couldn't get the bottom half open, so I just left it. But here you go, working environment. Okay. Specifications, just show that real quick. And we're almost done. Because you're going to want to see what it can measure. Whoops. There we go, AC/DC current. The maxes. Okay, capacitance. Max capacitance. It's important. You don't want to over test something too large. That wouldn't do. Frequency, temperature range. Okay, so we're done. And of course, it has all the different languages. So let's set that aside. Let's get to the main device. So I'm going to just move all the stuff that we're not going to use. Might use this. Depends if we have time. Yeah, charging cable can move out of the way. Of course, we're going to get our testing probes. So let's look at the device. I'm going to kind of zoom on down a little bit. Just a wee bit. Move over dimensions. We have a width of 3¼ inches. We have a height or length, depending how you look at it, at 6½ inches. And we have a thickness of 1 1/8 of an inch. So it's relatively compact as far as this device goes. Not bad. For size comparison, I have my VenLab. I reviewed this, the VM600A. Yeah, this is quite the beast compared to the 601S, as you can see. This does do 20 amps. This only does 10 amps. But the displays are much different. When you see this one, you're really going to like it. But if you want to see this one, I did review it. You can search VenLab todderbert, and it'll come up. But just for size comparison, this thing is a beast compared to this. This runs on, I think, 4 AAA batteries. This runs on a 1200 milliamp hour internal lithium battery. So time-wise, I'm not sure how many hours you get on that battery. I would just charge it overnight if you're going to be using it quite a bit the next day. So, yeah. We'll get that out of the way. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a dust magnet with this big screen here, but yeah, we'll have fun with it. So let's go over features of it. So right away, it's a plastic, hard plastic back here. It's got a rubber bumper edge here to help protect it against a fall. I wouldn't drop this really far. I don't feel there's enough protection here, but it seems like it's enough for basic use. On top here, we have our DC input where that barrel jack goes. They put a little dust cover here. Yeah, I wish that was Type-C. That'd be nice. Power button, press and hold to turn it on. Can do that right now. There we go. And of course, you can see the wonderful display. Now, just above the display here is the non-contact voltage warning. It goes green or red, depending on if it's high or low. Also for live mode as well. That's nice to have. You can see the model number. So the screen, really nice, big, vivid screen. I love it. It's showing quite a bit here. So you got 10,000 counts. So it has a bar graph when we get out of this mode here. Let's show you. So here's the bar graph. It goes up to 10,000, which is awesome. So when you're measuring it, here it's telling us, did you see that flash? It's telling us to plug our probes in those locations if we're going to be testing voltage, which is pretty nice. I just exited the auto mode there. So we can actually, I think, do this to get it back into auto. Here we go. So yeah, so you can look on the screen here. You can see that. I can just maybe zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So you can see you got the voltage. And when you go to voltage manually here, let's go exit this manual mode. There you go. We have DC. You can use the select button here. There it's flashing 5 times to tell us to plug our probes in. You can plug this, you can go to AC and DC with that button there. This is our select button. I'm going to go over the buttons in a little bit, but let's look at the what it can test. So we have AC. Let me see if I got a pen here. Probably easier. So we have AC, DC voltages. As you saw down here, it does say max current. You can test. Of course, the book showed. You don't want to go over 1,000. I believe on DC or AC. Yeah, look at which one. There's 750. You can look here. Yeah, 750 on AC. Excuse me. Yeah. So the little line there means AC, alternating current. So 750 volts AC or 1,000 volts DC. Okay. Of course, you can select that. And of course, you can move up the scale. And now we're on resistance for measuring resistors. And we have continuity. And we have diode testing. We have capacitance testing, which I'll try to show you in a little bit here and finish this up. We have millivolt, which I probably won't get into for AC or DC. Hertz duty cycle. There's our measurement. I'll probably show you ambient temperature, Celsius and Fahrenheit. You can also use the probes they included. There's your non-contact voltage. The non-contact voltage is right about here on the unit, if you're wondering, and I'll try to show that one. That's pretty cool. Live mode is interesting. You just plug in the positive probe here, and you plug it into onto a live wire or into an outlet. Down here we have the current, so you can measure. If you look, gotta bring it up to the camera. It has the DC and AC symbols, so you can test AC or DC current in milliamps or in regular amps. And that gives you up to 10 amps and tells you where to plug your probes in when you're measuring those different values. Pretty cool. And of course, this is showing Celsius all the time here in this middle part. And down here is our main reading. This is what we're going to see. So let's go ahead, I guess, plug things in. I'm almost done here. I probably should talk a little bit more about the bottom. So it says true RMS. We have, this means double insulated, I believe. So we have our 4 probe inputs, pretty basic. It's like on most testers. It's all pretty much the same. Except I'm looking at the VenLab, and the VenLab actually is a little different. So be sure you check your meter. This says regular amps here, and this is milliamps here. So don't get them confused if you're using a couple testers. So there you go. COM is in the same place. That's in the same place. But those two are reversed. So something to think about. Otherwise, you'll blow the fuse. One thing I wish they also would do is include fuses. Kaiweets, if you're watching this, include a couple spare fuses because we'll probably end up blowing a couple. It just happens. Because you're testing current, you're definitely going to blow a fuse. So yeah, let's look at the backside real quick. We've got a flashlight right here. You can turn it on with the button here. There it is. Light. Nice to have a light in the dark if you're measuring something in the car. Of course, we got the buttons here, which I didn't really go over, but pretty simple. Range. You can set it manually instead of auto ranging. That's nice to have. So you just press and hold this. It goes to manual range. And you can adjust. You can see it adjusting here. Kilo ohms, mega ohms, regular ohms. Okay, so that's really neat to have. And then, of course, you can press and hold to turn it off. You got a hold button to hold the value. And, of course, you have that relative measurement, which is nice. What it does, it just zeroes the... So like say you're taking a measurement at 120 volts and at the circuit breaker, and you press and hold this function, it zeroes it out. And then if you go to the outlet and measure the outlet, it measures the difference. So it remembers 120, that value, and it just shows the difference now, which is nice. So if it measures negative 1.2, you have a drop of 1.2 volts from the breaker to that outlet. So that gives you an idea. That's a really neat button. So you saw this auto function button. It's pretty simple. It takes you out of the auto mode or back into the auto mode. There you go. I think it has a little relay in there. Here, a little click. Of course, our flashlight and select for certain functions, and our max min for certain functions as well. It'll do a maximum minimum value, I believe, on... I wrote that down, I thought, the max min. I haven't used that too much, but it's nice to have if you're trying to do a difference for current, voltage, and live testing. So something to think about. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some testing with this, and we'll do some final thoughts. So I'm going to hook up the probe. So let's go ahead and just turn that like that, and we'll hook these up. Yeah, this is always fun. Yeah, I like this. These are little caps here. You can save them. You'll probably lose them. I don't know, but that will help protect them from getting dust in there. And then what I'm going to do to make this a little easier is I'm going to take these little caps off the probes, because the probes, I'm going to do it on camera so you guys can see, are easier to measure with when they're exposed. It's really nice to have that. So yeah, auto mode is nice. You could just pick up, say, a battery, and it should just test it. I got a Lithium 18650 flat top, and I'm just going to put it on the table here and do a measurement on it. So you can see, I'm just going to hold my negative and positive. It doesn't roll away on us. Come on. There we go. So it's auto doing it, which is nice. So it knows the voltage. And so I'm actually going DC. It's a beautiful thing. That's a nice thing, that auto. Cool. It goes back to auto. Great. So I'm actually going to go to manual. So let's go to manual. And we're going to go to resistance. And we're actually going to change the range. So I'm going to go manual. And we're going to set the range to kilo ohms. Oops. I'm hitting the wrong button. Hello. Okay, hit this button. So once you get the manual. Okay, I'm in continuity. Okay, so manual mode. There it is, kilo ohms. I'll get figured out. I got this really cool package, Archer resistors, 3.9 K resistance, 10% tolerance, which it hits. You're going to see this when I measure them. Pretty cool, old school, to have those old resistors on hand. So let's see if I can get probes on those and measure. Now you're going to notice that little bar graph there. Whoops, I had it. Come on, you. Okay. Doing this on camera is fun. It's in the package still, so it makes it a little harder. All right, so I could just push that up a little bit so I can get a probe on it. Okay, we're trying hard here. Okay, I'm just going to move it a little bit. There we go. You saw it flash there for a second, right? Man, just can't get down there in the package. Let's see if I can get a top one. There we go. So 4.27. If you notice the bar graph, it goes up to the count as well. Take it away. It goes back up to a full 10,000. So there you go. I tested it. Yay. I guess it has that tolerance factor. So there is our resistance. Very cool. So we'll go up to, say, what else we got? Capacitor. We'll see how that works. And we'll pretty much show you the end here. We're getting to the end. Because it's pretty cool. I mean, I do like the color screen. I think that's really neat. Again, I don't know how long this is going to last. I haven't really run the battery down, but it runs quite a while. But it's running a large screen. So with that 1200 milliamp hour battery with that large screen, I'm guessing you're probably going to get about 8 hours of testing, maybe 6 hours of testing. It's just a guesstimate. So, okay, let's go ahead and try a capacitor. I say try because, you know, these are hard to get the leads on. So we got negative, positive. And then, of course, you got to make sure you got to wait to charge it. So we are on capacitance mode. Coming from the top here. Let's see if I can't get a good reading. I'm going to try to press this on the table. And then we'll wait. And it should come up to 100 because 100 microfarad. It almost did. I saw it. Okay, we'll wait. Because it's got to charge it up. And there it is. Goes up to about 108, 109. That's what my other one did as well. Cool. So there you go. We measured a capacitor. Very simple. Again, it's very basic. Of course, you can measure any type of battery with it. You can go to AC current as well, which we can do. Let's see. We're going to go to, let's see, I'll show you the different modes here. We are in that millivolt. We are in the Hertz duty cycle. Here's the temperature measurement. You just plug the probes in and you could measure your Fahrenheit. And of course, Celsius is right here. So it's dual display, which is fantastic. That it has that non-contact voltage. This is cool. So it uses this little sensor area. So if I take a AC wire, see how far I can stretch this wire. Got an extension cord. And if I place that wire against here, it starts beeping fast and red means high. And I think if I move it over here, should be green. Or if it comes up, let me see if I go in the outlet part. I know I could get a green to light up. Now it doesn't want to do it. Okay, let's put the wire back where I think it would pick it up. Okay, we're trying. There it is. So there's a certain spot. Okay, it's closer to the DC port. There you go. You get the idea, but it's closer to the DC port there. I don't think it's on the DC port. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. And of course you can go live, and the live part is you just use your positive and you just plug, just touch your hot wire. So take the AC line and of course plug this right here, and it'll tell us if we're high or low depending on our connection. There you go. So you can do live testing to live wires. Nice. Okay, great. And then, yeah, continuity was simple. Everybody knows how to do that. Current, I'm not going to show on here. So we're pretty much done demoing. I'm just going to, yeah, I think that's good. So we're going to go ahead and just unplug this, and we'll do some final thoughts on the KM601. This thing is pretty cool. 601s, I should say. Yeah. So overall, does it get a recommended buy? At $44.99, it's not bad. It's really cool. I really like this display. There's a lot to it. There's the 10,000 counts is pretty cool. I like the bar graph. I like the different modes it has. Some I grow into. Again, I don't use all of these. For more radio guy, I use volts, resistance, continuity a lot. Continuity is a big one. Testing resistors is nice because I can figure if they're bad or good. That's nice to have as well, but you have to have them out of the circuit, which is kind of difficult when you're doing radio repair. I'd just replace them at that point. Being able to take temperature readings is nice. And of course, current. Current's very important, especially if you're building radios or testing a circuit on a radio as well. So there it is. It's a great product. I think it's neat. It's unique. It's different. This is not touchscreen, just so you know. It's just a plain display, which I kind of like. But I'm going to look at one maybe with a touchscreen. So we'll see how that one goes. But for the price, yeah, it's a premium, but it is neat. So yeah, here's that stand, by the way. I didn't show you. Flips open. This could be replaced. This is kind of a flimsy stand. I wish it was a little more beefier than that. And then behind this one screw here are 2 fuses. And the 2 fuse values are printed right on the device. So you can see what you need to replace for the fuses. I think they're standard size as well. And then there's 4 screws here, and here. And I took them all out, but I still wasn't able to open up the device to look at the battery inside. But I'm sure most people could probably take it apart and get the battery out and change it. So there is that. I wish they had a user replaceable battery as well, like a BL5C. Now, I know a lot of people don't like that battery, but it's pretty much what it's using. Or if this was a little thicker, 18650. This could power it. That'd be nice. Then you could like triple the capacity and runtime. I would like that. Just ideas. The Kaiweets is watching this. Awesome. So, yep, we're all done. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's a big like for me. I like it. It's unique. It's different. I like how it's more portable than this bad boy. This is more of your bench. This will probably never leave my bench. This will probably go more portable. And, of course, it's got that sharp-looking factor to it. If that's what you like. If you like that smart-looking device, this is the way to go. So, yeah. If you like the brand, I'm going to pick up another one and cover some more of this brand. More, of course, more VenLab and more of the Tesmans if they come out. I just like these multimeters. They're great. And, of course, they serve my channel well. They work for doing a lot of different things, testing our batteries, testing our circuits. So there you go. Making waves works well for there, too. Building your kits. So, yeah, just make sure you subscribe to the bell icon, get notified. And 3, comment below what you think about the KM601s. Are you a fan of this new style color LCD? Is this something you'd be interested in? Or are you a fan of the old school, just simple LCD? That's fine for a lot of people. I like the fact that it has a dual display and the extra things it can do. Showing that bar graph is interesting. Just little things like that I like. So there you go. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in my next video.